really my intention to make this video a little more elegant, speaker worthy, but in reality, I got things to do today. This needs to be done by today, and you know, we're just gonna get it how we live it. You're gonna take it how it is. So if you don't know, my name is Crystal and I'm the Undereducated Philosopher and Sage. I love all things thought, you know, but not in the sense that, like I was saying, not in the sense that's kind of distracting from being able to exist and in this reality, you know, in our world. And that really kind of ties into the topic of the August thought. So I'm gonna take this cat and throw her out of the window. Hold on. Because what are you doing? What are you doing? Why is it when I decide I wanna do something, you wanna be all on my stuff trying to knock something down? Can we stop? Can you stop? Can you stop and go sit down? So the August thought piece, the cat got me distracted. The August thought piece was the bondage that we don't talk about. A type of bondage that I think is often self-inflicted, and I don't think we talk about it enough, is the bondage of like identity in a sense. What we fail to realize, and what I feel is holding a lot of us back, is identifying solely with certain aspects of our being. And there is no way for you to fully understand all that you are and all that you carry when you fixate on one aspect of your being. It's truly important to honor all sides of you. This brings us back to balance. This brings us back to the idea of my first book, Trinity of Self-Mastery, integrating the mind, body, and soul. And if you look a bit further, like if you look deeper at what it means to integrate, if you look a little deeper at what it means to like find balance, that's where we're going with this. Bondage is anything that holds you back, anything that ties you to anything. Okay, you know what I'm saying? We are all in bondage. You just don't know it yet. What if I told you that almost every person on this planet is living in bondage? Not just the oppressed, not just the imprisoned, and not just the trapped, and not just those trapped in addiction, because we all know the oppressed people are in bondage. That's obvious. If you're oppressed, if you are lacking resources, if you don't have, if you can't do, you are in bondage, because then most of the time the bondage comes from financial. It's financial, you know what I'm saying? When you don't have money to do the things that you need to do, you're oppressed, you're in bondage, you know, you're being held back. Even me, like I've been trying to put my book out for a little minute, but this shit is expensive, so I'm bound temporarily because I can't do what I want to do, but that doesn't stop us. You know, we work to get out of the bondage. We work to do whatever we need to do to, you know, make shit happen, you know, bondage. Being imprisoned, and you know, that's a big form of bondage, and that's one that, you know, our country loves. You know, when you imprison somebody, and you can imprison their body, put them in jail, but you can also imprison the mind. Most people are imprisoned in the mind. You know, most people are walking around blind, dead, just operating on a blank slate and don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? And not those trapped in addiction. We all are trapped in some form of addiction, you know, and some of the addictions are good, some of the addictions are bad, but at the end of the day, it's still a form of bondage. Anything that we have to do, anything that we are attached to in that form, it's a form of bondage. And that sounds like kind of sad, because some addictions, I guess, are good, but I feel like anything, when you overindulge in any one thing, that's a form of bondage. You're not giving yourself the opportunity to explore and spread your wings and actually utilize all aspects of your being if you're focused solely on one thing, all right? And so basically, just all of us are in some type of bondage and we don't even know it, or we know it and we don't know it. The question isn't if you're in bondage, the question is, what has you bound? So if you think about your life right now and you think about your interactions, your situations, just your daily occurrence, what has you bound? What are the things in your life right now? Because it's probably more than one, you know. What do you think is keeping you bound right now? For me, I'm not gonna express what has kept me bound, and I can feel another tear behind my eye. But like, I know what has kept me bound for such a long time, and I'm finally at a place where I'm ready to break that chain. I finally received enough growth and wisdom and guidance to where I get it, and I'm ready to break it, but I'm terrified. I'm literally terrified because I don't even know. I'm just terrified because it's gonna be so hard to do this, but I know that, oh my gosh, I'm crying. I don't wanna cry. I probably should cry, but I'm not gonna sit here and cry on camera. But I know it's the best decision for me and my future, and I know that now I'm feeling this. My ego doesn't want to let this go, but I know that down the line, because it's not going to be easy, but I do know that down the line I'm going to look back and I'm going to be grateful and thankful that I actually made this change. But enough about me. Think about yourself. What is keeping you bound? What things in your life are holding you back? What's holding you back? Literally, that's all it is. Let me continue. It says, today I want to explore these forms of bondage that rarely get discussed together: mental, physical, and spiritual. In my opinion, the last one is the most dangerous because most people don't even realize they're living in it. According to Webster, bondage is the state of being physically tied, enslaved, or completely restricted by an external force or another person. Most people hear that definition and immediately think about chains. But what if the strongest chains are ones not made of metal? What if they're made of beliefs, expectations, identity, or even a version of yourself that you've been performing for years? If we understand ourselves as souls temporarily experiencing life through human bodies, bondage takes on an entirely different meaning. We are physically bound to our bodies. And I stopped there because I fell asleep. But yeah, basically, like, we can be bound by our beliefs. And I think that's the easiest way to stop growing. You can have a belief that you hold dear to your heart, but as soon as you allow it to be the full force of all that you are, do, say, and entertain yourself with, you are now in bondage. You are in bondage to that belief because you won't allow yourself to expand. You won't allow yourself to understand more and grow more. And just because you are learning things, just because you're taking in information, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to change the way you see, change the way you believe. It may shift it, but it's just going to open you up. You know, meditation is, for me, super important because that's what keeps you grounded. It's what keeps you grounded into your own individual system of belief, but still allows you to open yourself up and gain more, because we don't know it all. We'll never know it all. There's so much information out there, so much wisdom and knowledge and truths and lies and clusterfucks and shit that's just flipped upside down. And it's just so much, and I love it. But it's so much out there, and I think, you know, we spend a lot of time binding ourselves to linear things that really just stagnate our growth, but make us feel like we're expanding and growing, but when in actuality we're not. We're staying the same, or we're freaking moving backwards. You know, I made a post on TikTok the other day, and someone was like, I think the G-Man wants people to awaken and be more spiritual. They want people to be more enlightened. And I was just thinking to myself, bruh, that is far from the truth. I don't think they want people to truly awaken. I don't think the G-Man really wants people to have true self-awareness and truly awaken. Because if the masses truly awaken, and I've said this before, like all the bullshit that we deal with in the world wouldn't happen because we wouldn't allow it. Like, people think that creating change and making a difference starts with external doing, you know, but making a change and creating a difference literally starts with your own internal change. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you put energy into is what grows. You know what I'm saying? If you're putting energy into yourself, you're putting energy to being unbound, if you're putting energy into your family, into your kids, to worrying about what's your shit, and we're not putting energy into all this external world shit, we're not feeding it. It's gonna shrink. It's gonna shrink. It's gonna shrink and make it worse at first, because they're gonna try to do things that will grasp our attention, that will like get a stronger hold on us and make us tune into it. But if we just choose to just focus on ourselves, which is the easiest thing, and nobody thinks about that, then the world would change. I've said this before, the world would change if we all decided to just go within, focus on ourselves, heal, grow, continue to read, learn our history, you know, and just keep on elevating and keep on trying to become the best versions of ourselves. The world could change, you know? The world could change. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Like, this is our world. It's more of us than it is of them. We are the population. You know, they're just let me stop, because I'm starting to sound like I don't know what I'm starting to sound like. And I'm not trying to sound like anything but me, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta go. So if you like this, please subscribe and like. You can follow me on Instagram under Chris Clear Mastery. You can find me on TikTok, Chris Clear Mastery. And yeah, that is it. I know I was all over the place because I didn't have anything, like I didn't fully finish writing that. I really just wanted to get this done so I could add it to the newsletter. Yeah, I might make this first one public. But after this one, you're not going to be able to see these videos unless you subscribe to my newsletter. So maybe I should add this to the front.